Okay, so volume of word problems. These are just exactly what we've been doing, but of course it's going to talk about some situation or some like cylinder, can, or like a party hat is the next one we'll do. So the biggest thing that we always talk about, of course I'll read the problem in just a second, make sure you pause the video and write all that down, but the first thing you always want to do is draw a picture. Man, I can't spell, sorry. So draw a picture. And the reason that we draw that picture is to help you visualize it. So I know that there were some problems where it would say a cylinder has a height of this and a radius of this, and we would draw the picture. It's still the same concept. So I'm going to go ahead and read this problem now. So some potato chips are packed in a cardboard can. So really, it's a Pringles can if you've ever heard of those. But that's what it's talking about. A cardboard can, which would mean that it's a cylinder. So a can is always a cylinder. The package is 9 inches tall with a diameter of 3.5 inches. So if we're drawing a can, so we're going to draw a can, and this can is going to have the potato chips in there. Now, something to think about when you're talking about these, a lot of times it's really hard to measure from the edge to the middle if you're actually measuring. So most of the time it's going to go across like that. So if I were measuring, so if you have a Pringles can in your house and you wanted to measure it, you could, and it would be hard for you to find the middle. It would be easier for you to go all the way across and then just take whatever the diameter is, which is 3.5, and to divide that by 2. Okay, so the first thing we're going to do is draw a picture. The next thing that you're going to do is, sorry, I'm going to just make sure. You want to label. So label all parts. So we have 3.5 inches is the diameter. So 3.5 is the diameter. And then it's 9 inches tall. So 9 inches. Oops, I don't know if you could see that on my screen. It was blocked. But so make sure you label all of the parts. And again, that's a 3.5. That's just that number right there. Okay. So then once we've labeled, then you're of course going to try to find the volume. So or what you're looking for. So we are looking for volume. So when we're looking for volume, we know that the formula is pi r squared times height. Area of the base is a circle, so pi r squared, and then times the height. So when we do this, plug in what you know. Now that 3.5 is not the radius. The 3.5 is actually the diameter. So keep in mind, we were given the diameter is 3.5, so we need to divide by 2 to get the radius. So I'm going to zoom in just a little bit more just because I feel like I'm writing really small. Okay, so calculator, 3.5 divided by 2 is 1.75. So the radius is actually 1.75, so that's what I'm going to use for my radius. Times, we know our height is 9, times pi. Okay. So again, we're going to continue using 3.14 times 1.75 squared times 9. Remember, the first thing that you always have to do in these is do the exponent. So I'm going to do 1.75 So 1.75. And then I'm going to hit the squared button. So that would be 3.06. I just want 2 decimals. So the 2 makes the 6 stay the same, times 3.14 times 9. So I'm going to take that answer, 3.06 times 3.14, so 9.61 times 9, which is 86.49. So the volume of that can is 86.49. Okay. So make sure, the biggest thing on these, it's just like we've been doing, it's just making sure to get the right shape. You wouldn't want to put a cardboard can as a cone. You wouldn't want to put it as a sphere or anything like that. You would just want to make sure that you're using the correct shape. So that's the biggest thing, is identifying the correct shape. Okay, let's do the next one. I might need to zoom out. Oh no, I got it. So a party hat, and that's those traditional party hats that you always see. And of course I need to make it a purple hat, or pink, or whatever this color is. So the party hats we're talking about are these cone-shaped ones that have like the little thing that comes out the top, and there's usually some circles on there. Yeah, so I'm the best drawer in the world, I can't you tell? Okay, so a party hat has a radius. So this one actually did give us the radius. So a radius is halfway across, and that is 5. Hopefully you can see that well enough. And it is 16 inches tall. Oh, sorry, centimeters tall. So 5 and then 16. Okay, so we drew our picture, we labeled our parts, so that I'm going through these steps, but I didn't actually write them down this time. So we drew our picture, we labeled all of our parts. Now we know that we're looking for volume again. So we're looking for volume. And since we're looking for volume and it is a cone, volume of a cone is 1/3, because it comes to that single point. Remember, it's always 1/3. The shape of the base is a circle, so we know it's pi r squared times height. So that's the formula we're going to use. And I don't know if I've mentioned this, but I'll say it again. When you're doing volume, usually on any standardized test, you're always given the formulas. So you don't usually have to memorize these. You're usually just given the formulas. All right, so now let's find or plug in what we know. So we know it's 1/3 pi. Now in this case, we were given the radius, so I don't need to do anything with that. So that 5 is the radius. So this is r. This is h. You can label those, that always helps. So 5 squared, and then our height is 16. So then we have to find all of that. And again, always start with your squared, or your exponent. I'm going to pull this down, hopefully it's not too loud. Okay, here we go. So we have 5 squared. 5 squared is 25. Still have the 16, still have 3.14, and then times 1/3. Remember, I like to leave the fraction until the very end because it always freaks people out, I guess you could say. So I'm going to multiply all of this And I can actually do it in one step. Last time I did it step by step, but I'm going to type in and I'll make it higher so you can see. So I'm going to do 3.14 times 25 times 16. So 3.14 times 25 times 16 is 1,256. So all of that became 1,256. Now I need to multiply by that fraction. So I'm going to put it over 1, multiply across. So that would be 1256. Multiply across, 3 times 1 is 3. Come on, turn. Oh well. So we do 1,256 and then divided by 3. Divided by 3 is 418.67. One of the mistakes that we kept seeing on the assignment last week is that people would get this answer and think that they were done. You've got to remember that it's a pyramid, or it comes to that point, so you've got to divide by 3. So our answer would be centimeters cubed. Remember, this is just the units. This is our answer. You could type just this in and not even have to worry about these. But don't think that that 3 means you need to cube it again. Just because that's just the units. Saying that we multiplied centimeters times centimeters times centimeters is really where that comes from. Okay, next problem. So a can of juice a can of juice can hold 410.34 centimeters cubed. So remember that centimeters cubed is just saying that that was the volume. Okay, can hold 410.34 centimeters cubed with a diameter of 6.6 centimeters. What is the height of the can? Notice this one's not asking for the volume, it's actually asking for the height. So we're not going to do it the same exact way. We still want to draw a picture. And so a can of juice can hold. So we're going to draw our can of juice. It says can, so we know it needs to look like that. Has a diameter, so all the way across, of 6.6. What is the height? So we're looking for h. So I'm just going to write it as the letter h to not confuse us. And the volume equals 410.34. So that's our volume. Okay, so we are looking for height. Of a cylinder. So since we're looking for the height of a cylinder, we're still gonna use the same formula. So it's V equals pi r squared times height. Plug in what you know. So we know 6.6 is the diameter. So same thing. We have to take diameter of 6.6 and divide it by 2 to get the radius. 6.6 divided by 2 is 3.3. So 3.3 is our radius. So plug that in now. So pi times 3.3 squared times our height we don't know, so we're going to leave it as h, but we do know our volume. So 410.34. Okay. I like multiplying these out first before I do any division or anything. So I'm going to do 3.3 times 3.3 is 10.89. times 3.14 is 34.19. I'm going to round it here because the 4 would make the 9 stay. Okay, so now we have this times height. If I circle my variable, this is multiplying together, so the opposite of multiply is to divide. So I'm going to do 34.19 divided by 34.19. That cancels. Do it to the other side. So 410. Whoops, you couldn't see it. Sorry, I'll do that again. So I'm going to do 410.34 divided by 34.19 is 12.001. 2. But again, we typically round these to 2 places, so that makes it stay 12 is the height. So do you guys see that? So because we used 3.14, which is 2 decimals, I only want it to have 2 decimals. That 2 makes that 0 stay, so it's just 12.00 or 12. If you're thinking about money, 12.00 in your bank account is the same thing as having just $12. Okay, I'm going to do one more example just because we haven't done a sphere in a little while. So a turtle lays eggs that are nearly spherical with an average diameter of 4.5 centimeters. What is the volume of the eggs? Or egg. Volume of each egg is how I should have worded that, sorry. So let's change it to volume of each egg. Okay, so a spherical is just a sphere or a ball. So if you think about a ball, and then it says it has a diameter of 4.5. Okay, so we're finding the volume of a sphere. Oh my goodness. Forgot the H, that's the problem. So volume of a sphere. And volume of a sphere is pi r cubed. 4/3, sorry. 4/3 pi r cubed. Okay, so 4/3 pi r cubed is our volume that we're going to use. But again, we were given the diameter. So diameter is 4.5. So I need to cut that in half to be given our radius. Okay, so 4.5 divided by 2 is 2.25. So we're going to use 4/3 pi and then 2.25 cubed. So we're going to do 2.25, hit the cubed button or multiply it 3 times. So that is 11.39 times 3.14 times 4/3. So I'm going to take 11.39, multiply 3.14, I get 35.76 times 4/3. Again, hopefully you remember this because I feel like I say it over and over again, which is probably annoying, but I just want to make sure everybody remembers. When we're multiplying fractions, multiply across the top, multiply across the bottom. So I'm going to take my answer, I'm going to set it up here. So I'm going to do 35.76 times 4 which gives me 143.04 over 3 times 1 is 3. And then I'm going to divide that out. So 143.04 divided by 3 gives me 47.68. And this is using centimeters, so it would be centimeters cubed. We do know that this was a long video. Rather than trying to split it up, since we have covered all of this, it was just trying to do examples like each one of these. We decided you're doing the assignment or taking notes today, and then tomorrow you'll do the assignment. If you would like to just do it in one sitting and you've taken notes from the video, now you want to go do the assignment, then you would end up not having anything the next day. So again, that was a long video. It's just coming up on, it just finished 21 minutes, but it was just stuff that we've already done, just making sure that you remember how to do it from a word problem. Okay, so good luck. Let us know if you need help.